Hi guys, today we're going to talk about rates. So, we're all about rates today. What's a rate? A rate is a ratio, so it's a fraction, of two quantities using different units. So like miles per hour. Okay, you got miles in the numerator and hours in the denominator. You got feet per second would be another example. You got feet in the numerator and seconds in the denominator. So whatever's in front of the word per goes in the numerator, and whatever's after goes in the denominator. A unit rate compares a quantity to one unit of another quantity. Okay, so basically what you do is you reduce it down so that the denominator is 1, and that's a unit rate. And then equivalent rates have the same unit rate. Okay, so for example, you pay $27 for 3 pizzas. Your rate is $27 to 3 pizzas. That's the rate. But you can change that to a unit rate. That's $9 per pizza. Okay, that's your unit rate. $27 to 3 pizzas and $9 to 1 pizza, those are equivalent rates. Okay. So, this is called a double number line, and it shows the rate at which you earn points for successfully hitting notes in a music video game. Write a rate that represents this situation. Okay, so here you got your points along the top, here you got your notes along the bottom. So you get 0 notes, then you get 0 points. If you get 1 note, you get 150 points. And so on. 2 notes, 300 points. Whoa. Thank you. Okay. So write a rate that represents this situation. Well, there's a couple different ways you could write a rate. You could basically take any one of these except this first one. You could say, well, it's 150 to 1. Or you could say it's 300 to 2. Or you could say it's 450 to 3. Or 600 to 4. Or 750 to 5. All of these are the same thing, and they all reduce down to, this is the one right here that's different. Okay, that's your unit rate. Because that's the one where the denominator is 1. We should make this one a different color because it's kind of its own thing. There we go. Okay. So, a piece of space junk travels 5 miles in 8 seconds. So you can see our picture of the world over here, all this stuff scattered around, it's all space junk that's floating around. Okay, how far does it travel per second? So it travels 5 miles in 8 seconds. So we can write 5 miles per 8 seconds. Okay, what we want to do is we want to know how much it's going to be in 1 second. Okay, so, and this is going to be miles up here. We don't know what that miles is. All right, there's a couple ways you could do this. You could say, well, let's see, to go from here to here, I'd have to take 8 and divide it by 8 to get 1. So I can take 5 and divide it by 8 and get 5/8. Okay, kind of like that to stand out a different color. Okay, that's a little bit better. Now, I don't personally like to do that way. Here's what I would do, is I'd say, 5 miles in 8 seconds is X miles in 1 second. Okay, so this is called a proportion. This is getting a little ahead of us here because that's a lesson coming up. But anytime you have 2 fractions that are equal to each other, it's called a proportion. And what you do to solve a proportion is you're always missing one value. So I'm missing the x right here. Oops, it's supposed to be red. I'm missing the x. So what you do is you take the other 3 numbers, you take the 2 numbers that are diagonal from each other, you multiply them together, and then you divide by the other one. So x will equal 5 times 1 divided by 8. And that comes out to be 5/8. And that's in miles. It's going to travel 5/8 of a mile per second. Pretty fast. Okay, so you can do this one. So a Japanese bullet train, here's my Japanese bullet train here in front of, what's that mountain that they always climb there? I forget the name right now. Japanese bullet train travels 558 miles in 3 hours. How far does it travel every hour? So why don't you go ahead and pause the video, solve this just like I did here. You can do it either method, and then jump back on to see that you got it right. Okay, so method number 1. You'd say, well, let's see, 558 miles in 3 hours. I want to know what that's going to be in 1 hour. How many miles, right? Okay, so I would take this and divide it by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So I would take 558 and divide that by 3. That'd be 8, that'd be 24, subtract, I get 1, that's 8, that's 6. Okay, so it'd be, X would be 186 miles an hour. It's pretty fast. Okay, if I was going to do it with a proportion, I would just go take the two numbers diagonal from each other. That'd be 558 times 1 divided by the other number is 3. That's going to equal X. And that's going to be 558 divided by 3, which is going to be the same thing as this, which is going to be 186 miles per hour. Okay. Ooh, a chef buys 6 pounds of salmon fillets for $51. How much will the chef pay for 9 pounds of salmon fillets? Okay, so he spends $51 to get 6 pounds. By the way, this is a pound sign. Okay? So you want to know how many, if he pays, he wants 9 pounds. How much do you pay? X dollars, right? So, remember what I said. Take the two numbers diagonal, that's these two. Multiply those together. So X is going to be 51 times 9 divided by the other number, which is going to be 6. Okay, so if you remember, I can reduce this a little bit because 6 will go in, or 3 will go into 6 twice, and it'll go into 9 3 times. So this is going to be 3 times 51 is going to be 153 divided by 2. And so that's going to be 7 is going to be 14. And that'll go in there 6 times, that's 12. That leaves 1, so that's going to be 0.5. It's going to be, he's going to pay $76.50 for 9 pounds. Okay, so now you buy 2 pounds of tilapia for $16. What is the cost for 7 pounds of tilapia fillet? So I'll let you pause the video here and do this one, and then jump back on and see how you did. It'd be just like that one. Okay, so you could say 2 pounds for $16, right? Now notice up here I put the dollars on top and the pounds on the bottom. It doesn't matter which way you do it, just make sure it's the same on the other side. So over here, I want 7 pounds, and that's going to be X dollars down there. Okay, so X is going to be, multiply the two diagonal numbers that I know, so that's going to be 16 times 7 divided by 2. Well, I can do this. I can say 2 goes into 16 8 times, and so I'm going to get 8 times 7 is $56. Now, the other way you could look at it and go, well, let's see, 2 times 3.5 is 17. So 16 times 3.5, that's going to be 30. That's going to be 1821. Put down a 0, that's going to be 5. 3 times 1 is 3. Okay, and I go ahead and add that up. And I have 1 decimal, and that's going to be $56. Okay. All right, so you're going to get to do 1 through 31 odd in class next time. I look forward to seeing you, and have a great evening.